Okay, this is going to be a video entry into another contest, so you will also find the link below to the specific video for the contest. And I hope you'll go over and check out MrDustinPerry's channel, and that you will also submit an entry into his contest, what he wanted to see. Not necessarily just in the miniatures area, but in the hobby and just about anyway. A progression of where you started and where you are today. So this is probably one of the first minis that I ever painted. To set the scene a little bit here, we're talking back in the early 1980s. This would be pre-internet. This would be about the closest thing we had to internet was a 1200 speed baud modem that I was able to link into work with a dumb terminal to work on problems, and it was a monochrome screen. So we're not talking about all of the wealth of information that's available in the YouTube community today. In fact, there really even wasn't that much in the magazines at the time. White Wolf at the time, White Wolf and Dragon magazine were almost like newsletters. They were maybe had some nice color and artwork on the cover, but for the most part, the interior was just all print stories, maybe some artist renderings of what figures were going to look like. But you just kind of winged it. And as you can see in this case, no priming was done because if you can see here, the base, which these were all one cast models, there certainly was no modeling involved as far as putting the piece together or adding weapons or arms or anything like that, or posability. They were just single casts. And no priming was done here because anything that was metal, I just left metal. So his chainmail shirt and some of his shoulder pad, they just remained whatever the metal was. The tip of the spear was not painted with any kind of metallic paint. That's just the white metal of the casting. Probably, I'm pretty sure this was painted in the enamels at the time, which was probably Tester's paints. So they were very bright. Main thing I tried to accomplish was just full coverage of the areas that I was painting, and it was passable. The guys still kind of enjoyed seeing the figures painted up to this level and put down on the table. So there's one of my very first. And let's pause this and I will bring in the next. Okay, at this point you are dealing with a two-piece model. And I've probably changed over to the earliest advanced Dungeons and Dragons acrylic paints. You can see a little bit of highlighting taking place, trying to show something, contrast on the shield, highlighting on the boar's flesh. It is a two-piece model. The rider is separate from the boar, and although, again, pre-based, at least a little paint goes down onto the base. I think I might have even been going over the entire model in black at this point, so that anytime I missed paint, there would be dark down in the shaded areas and everything. So I think the concept of priming probably was introduced by this point also. So as you can see, though, nothing like the subtle blending of today. Just taking it a little bit higher level as far as creating the illusion of light hitting the model. Probably getting up into the 90s now. Figure's been played with, so it's had a little bit of rough treatment, but now you're getting into the plastic bases, applying a little bit of flock and maybe a couple small rocks, trying to get some details picked out in the face, doing a little bit of washes, although they weren't selling washes at the time. I was just thinning down the paint. Tried ink a couple of times, but without sealing the model first, I had some disastrous results with that. It just basically stained the model. But then I tried just watering down the paint to the point that it would go down in the recesses. Still had some problems with once the water evaporated, you got some pooling and circles, and just didn't quite work as well as the washes that are being put out today. This is probably maybe mid-90s. Okay, here's something that I just painted recently. It's out of the Privateer Press range. Sort of an undead diver type. Now we're dealing with some purchased resin bases. This is like shipwreck wood. Doing a little bit more with metallic paints, and also shading, painting with a lot less layers to put the detail in, some blending. I don't know that I'll ever progress much more beyond this, but what I'm doing now I pretty much do just for the relaxation that I have in doing the hobby, and it seems to suffice for putting things down on the table that people enjoy playing with, and that's fine with me. So there you are, buddy. There's kind of a progression from where I started a long time ago. There's been a lot of dry periods in between. I know there was that phase during Magic the Gathering where I think for a couple of years we pretty much would occasionally play an RPG game, but for the most part we were playing tournaments of Magic the Gathering like crazy. So, which wasn't a bad thing, because a lot of those cards that I have are financing my ability to stay involved in anything associated with the miniature painting today. So I hope you guys will go over and check out his channel. Like I said, the link will be below, and that you also will enter into his contest and check out what he's doing on his channel, and subscribe to him if you like what you see. Have a great day. May God bless you all, each and every one, and I'll be talking to you later.